right, we opened the show this morning with the controversy in the thriller between the Heat and Hornets last night in Charlotte. This was the moment, this was the play. That's Lamelo Ball on the ground, grabbing the leg of Bam Adebayo as he goes down. Adebayo would not return to the game. Ultimately, Charlotte would win by 1 in overtime. Here was Eric Spoelstra after the game.
Kind of looked like on film that you might have grabbed his leg. I mean, did you intentionally grab his leg?
I haven't even seen. Like I said, I got hit in the head. Didn't even know where I was. But, yeah, just playing basketball. But like I said, sorry, and I'm going to check on him.
Okay, so that's his take. Curtis and Zach are two of the officials in the game last night, including the crew chief. I'm coming right to you, Vince Goodwill. Should LaMelo Ball have been thrown out of that game in the second quarter?
Iman, Greeny, he's laughing already because, yeah, I do think so. I do think that last night when you sweep a player's leg in that way, I understand with the way that the rules are, you could not. At least it would have been a flagrant one. I suspect the league will take a look at it today and upgrade it to at least a flagrant one. Zach Zarber is one of the best referees. Curtis Blair was right underneath it. He should have seen it. To me, here's the tell. When you sweep someone and you brush by them by accident, you turn around and be like, hey, did I catch you by accident there? There was no look back from LaMelo Ball. Maybe he was just reckless. And maybe in reckless, by definition, get you at least a flagrant one, if not a flagrant two.
Should the call have been upgraded? Or should there have been, let me be clear, there was no call. Should LaMelo Ball have been called there? Should he have been thrown out of the game?
Should it have been a call? Yes. I don't think initially anybody thought that it was what it was once we saw the replay, right? Mm-hmm. Is LaMelo dead wrong for that? Yes. I'll admit he was wrong. That was a knucklehead play. I'm sure he wants that back. Will he be at WrestleMania? Probably. You know what I'm saying? But do I think that he should be taken away for a game for that? No. Just because this is starting toward the playoffs.
But if they had seen that in that moment, again, to be clear, the reason no call was made, no one saw it, the play continued, action took place further down the court, and so it was too late for them to review it. If they had looked at it, do you believe they should have thrown him out of the game?
All I'm saying is once the play stopped, if our teammate is on the floor saying that it was a dirty play, either the ref's going to have to figure this out or you're going to have an altercation on the court. But our best player is now laying down in a play-in game. And I felt like the reason they kept going because there wasn't any commotion for real. It was just Bam complaining and Spoelstra complaining. But It was like, where are his guys? Where's the cavalry? Where's the guys that said, dog, we not playing? We have an issue now.
Someone should have touched them up.
So, yeah, or at least a hard foul, something. I just felt like in that situation, I saw Bam by himself. Like, even when I saw the replay, I started dialing into my mind of, could he have kept his body in bounds? Did he try and sell the call? It was all type of thoughts. And it's like, if he's down like that, his guys should be around him. There should be some sort of altercation where you have to stop. Let's blow the whistles and stop this to get this underway. But for everybody to keep playing this, because I don't think anybody thought it was super intentional like that.
And secondarily, this is LaMelo Ball's thing. He will grab and trip you. Like there was this incident 2 years ago in Miami. Same player.
Yeah, here we go.
Different situation. But he was trying to stop the play, but he reached up and grabbed Bam's leg.
Watch what happens here. It's going to happen right here. Keep a close eye on this. Look.
Yeah, LaMelo, man. I want to write it down as a competitor, but when you got clips like this circulating, brother, it makes it tough.
It takes away from a great game. It was a lot of back and forth last night. Miami had instances in regulation and in overtime where they could have walked away with a win as opposed to being in the 9-10 line. They're out now. Like, Charlotte goes on, and we don't know if Charlotte's going to make it into the 8th seed, but it just sullies what was such a
Let's be clear.
game.
Bam Adebayo did not play more than half of this game, a game that wound up in overtime, and they lost by 1. Eric Spoelstra can say he's not making an excuse, and that's the right thing for a coach to say, but the reality is it's not an excuse, it's a reason. They lost the game, at least in part because their best player didn't play in it. This is an enormous moment. So, Shump, I'll ask it to you again. If they had called a foul and then gone and looked at it, would you have been on the side and then they'd come to you and said, Shump, what should we do? Should we eject the player for this?
I'm not throwing them out. I definitely would penalize them, flagrant one, but I'm not throwing them out. The stakes is too high. I understand emotions go like this and plays like this happen. There's always something that happens within the playoffs that people are like, that's questionable, that's borderline. But when you're playing balls out like that. You're not thinking.
Let me ask you this.
You're just playing hard and you into it like stuff happens.
I'm with you. But what would you have had to see in that for you to say this meets the pale of a flagrant 2? Because I understand you as the ref, you don't want to throw a player out of the game. You don't want to input your stamp on the game. You want the players to decide it. But sometimes the players decide it with their own actions. What would Lamelo have had to do in that spot for you to say this is a flagrant 2?
I don't know. I'm so glad I'm not a zebra. It has nothing to do with me. I can't say it is very unnecessary. It's very unnecessary. But I tell you what, as a teammate, it ain't no way I'm putting that decision in the ref's hands. You tripped my guy. The problem is with you, Lamelo Ball.
Very quickly, do you think the league will look at it now in advance of Friday?
Absolutely, they will look at it. I don't think he will get suspended, but I think they will upgrade it.
All right, we'll have more to do on this as we go. Obviously, this was the big story.
Take a little money from
joins us right now, and Iman, there seems to be some history between these two players. You heard what Spo and Lamelo had to say about it. However, what are your thoughts on what happened last night?
Well, first of all, it's unfortunate for Bam to go down like that. You never want to see a player in this league go down with any type of injury. But when you look at the scheme of things and you see what's up for grabs, little stuff like this just kind of happens. Guys are, tangled up. I think LaMelo went down on that play. I don't think it was intentional. I think it was one of those things where he thought his hand from under his feet with his left hand on the floor. I wouldn't have been able to tell you that could have even happened. I think it was just unfortunate. Bam didn't have any balance, and he just took it with him. It's unfortunate, but I don't think it was a dirty, sought-after play to take Bam out of the game.
Yeah, definitely an unfortunate event right there, especially for Bam Adebayo, who had to come out of that game. Hornets now await the loser of Magic versus Sixers game for a chance to make the playoffs for the first time since 2016. Let's transition to tonight. Steph Curry and the Warriors visit Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers. Which team do you trust more to make it out of the play-in and into the playoffs?
I think I trust Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers a little bit more. Ever since they've been able to try and get healthy and they had to move some things around, I think they've really found a rhythm with Kawhi Leonard being their leader. I think T. Lue has found a way to get those guys to corral together and behind each other. I feel like they still have some daylight in that locker room. It'd be exciting to see them come out of the play-in tournament. I don't know exactly what they're supposed to do when they get to round one if they do make it out of the play-in tournament. But it definitely would be exciting to see them match up and to see Kawhi Leonard get a chance to attack as a superstar again in the playoffs.
Yeah, look, I don't doubt Kawhi when the season is on the line, but you're right. I don't know what that means if they do make it out of the play-in and into the playoffs. It could be a scary sight in that first round. Yeah, bad spot to be in. Iman Shampert with the latest. Thanks so much, Iman.